What do you think about the effects of technology on obesity nowadays?
I think technology definitely plays a huge factor in childhood obesity specifically, but also in obesity of all ages.
What do you mean childhood
Um,
obesity?
I think that kids are used to a lifestyle now where they just sit on a computer screen or play their video game all day and they're very sedentary. They don't want to go play outside. They don't want to go and kick a soccer ball around. They want to Instagram or play the new Call of Duty or something like that. And not only is that affecting their activity, but it's affecting their sleep, their attention, just a lot of like health concerns about it, I think.
Do you think kids are more likely to stay inside and play video games by themselves versus going outside and playing pass or football with friends?
I think now kids want to be connected socially via social media. And so, yes, I would say that kids would rather be inside playing video games than going out and playing with their friends because they want that social media connection. Instagram, all these social medias that when I was younger, I wouldn't have, like, my parents didn't let me have any of them until I was late in middle school or older in middle school. But now kids have like Instagram and Facebook and all these like social medias where they're connecting with people they don't even know, but they love the attention, so they keep pursuing it, I guess.
Do you have like a personal connection with that? Do you feel that your parents not allowing you to have social media sites when you were younger helped you from gaining weight and staying inside?
I definitely think it kept me like active in sports and like pursuing those kind of things. I definitely notice it the most though. I have younger cousins who are 14 and 15 and they're always on Instagram and Facebook, like unbelievably. And they have so many followers and like Instagram friends or whatever that they are more interested in that than going outside. And whenever they're in town, I'll ask them if they want to like go do something, and they're much more interested in watching like TV and like I don't know.
Do you think you can like use it in two different ways? Like using technology to not like cause obesity, I guess.
I think sometimes there's like opportunities for that. Like I think there's some apps and stuff that are like the exercise apps or whatever, but I just don't think people realistically use them as much. And I think a lot of that has to do with motivation and work ethic, which is also diminishing because of technology. I think people have access to whatever they want whenever they want it, and they don't need to pursue it. Whether it's information or ordering something online that you can just get. And back when my dad was in school, he had to look everything up in an encyclopedia or whatever kind of information he needed. He needed to find it, and that takes so much more time and effort and like devotion, I guess. So I don't think kids do that anymore.
Yeah. So like taking time to actually work to get what you want versus like having everything handed to you.
Mm-hmm. And I think that that's like a huge part of obesity because first of all, they don't want to like work towards working out or running or anything like that. And also like that's just the instantness. That would be like related to junk food because everybody wants something now, and if you're hungry right now, you're gonna grab like the granola bar, or, like the unhealthy like donut or something because it's there. You don't need to make it. You don't need to like cook your vegetables. You don't need to slice your apple or whatever. Like, and I think kids are pretty affected by that, and that's making them sedentary and eat like much poorer foods for them.
So because kids eat like unhealthy, you think that relates to technology, like video games or whatever technology devices that they use? Do you think that encourages them eating unhealthy?
Yeah, I actually really do because when you're playing a video game for hours or when you're watching TV for hours, there's so many advertisements. And I know in like movies and stuff, they show that it's okay to eat this junk food or whatever. And kids see that on the TV and they're like, yes, that's what I want to do. I want to eat the Cheetos right now. And like, that's the cool snack. And I even remember when I was a kid, like, I always would see, like, Cinnamon Toast Crunch and Lucky Charms on the TV, their ads, and they were like, I was like, Mom, we have to get this, but that's so bad for you. And it's just, kids are so easily persuaded, and I don't know, I think that's a huge factor, and I think that there should be, like, laws, honestly, in place for advertisement, because there's laws for cigarettes, so why isn't there laws for junk food? And, like,
What do you mean by that? What kind of laws would be?
Well, like, I'm pretty sure there's, like, you can't advertise cigarettes on the TV anymore and stuff like that. I don't think it should be that severe, but or, like, that strict, but I do think that there should be things in place in order to, like, minimize it and minimize kids' exposure to it, because, like I said, like, kids are spending more time watching TV than going outside and being active, so they're already having pretty big effects on, like, their health and, like, their lifestyles that could cause obesity. So why should we even expose them to more detrimental effects of their health and obesity? So,
do you think technology in any way could help them become in shape versus getting them out of shape?
I mean, maybe, like, as like a reward program type thing. Like, if you go, like, play with your friends at the park for a couple hours, you can have an hour of screen time. Or if you do this, you can, like, that kind of stuff. But honestly, overall, I think it's having much more damaging effects on kids' health than it does benefit them at this point, because we've surpassed, like, the positives, and it's just causing, like, attention disorders with the screen exposure. There's, like, a blue light problem, I think, and then sleep habits are being changed or, like, disrupted. And I even notice it myself when I'm, like, looking at my iPhone before I go to bed. I wake up more in the night, and I used to never do that when I was younger, so I think that's probably pretty related, at least, to the amount of screen time and being on your laptop always.
So then do you think, like, not getting enough sleep would relate to, like, not being able to work out in the morning? Or how would that relate to, like, gaining weight and being obese?
I'm not completely sure of, like, all the science behind this, but I know for a fact, like, it makes you hungrier. If you don't get enough sleep, your body thinks you need energy, so it goes to food. So I think that that's a factor. And then, yes, also, like, not wanting to exercise. If you have a bad night's sleep, you're groggy and you're lazy all day and you don't want to go to the gym. If you have to, like, go run and you're wanting to fall asleep, like, that doesn't make any sense. So
what you're saying is, like, because of all the different advertisements and ways that kids can interact with technology and stuff, it reduces their time, like, outside, and makes them have worse sleep habits, which then doesn't allow them to get the proper exercise they need to then further, like, go work out and that stuff.
And I think part of it, too, is just, like, the cool factor. Like, it's not cool. It's, like, cool to have all these cool, like, new technologies and stuff. So kids want to do that. They want to pursue that. There's less advertisement for, like, hey, it's really cool to go to the gym, or, like, it's really cool to play soccer or something like that now. I think a lot of it is, if you don't have the new iPhone, you're a loser. So I think that kids are pretty strongly affected by what other people think. And without changes to, like, their technology use, I think a lot of children are going to develop obesity even worse than it is right now.
Do you think children, like, recognize that this is, like, a problem? That
I think a huge factor, or a huge problem actually, is that kids don't notice those things. Like, teenagers start to, young adults definitely do, but, like, kids don't care. Like, they don't know better. They're learning. They're, like, sponges. They absorb everything. They see so if they're persuaded to like something more, like the Cinnamon Toast Crunch than Honey Nut Cheerios, that taste better, obviously they're gonna like it. They don't know the difference. They don't know, like, they haven't in health class.
Yeah.
And so I think, especially in, like, toddlers and, like, elementary schoolers, it's pretty important to either reduce the, like, access to technology and, like, or just show them healthier lifestyle habits, when they're young. So.
Stop. No. So, like, if kids are, I mean, because they're persuaded by more and more things that are unhealthy and all the opportunities that they have to use technology, this makes them, like, unaware of, like, them gaining weight and all that stuff. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.